Hey, welcome back to Ask Allison. Here's today's question. I'm wanting to network with some of the university counseling centers in my area because it's the first place many of my ideal clients, 20-ish-year-old clients with eating disorders, would seek help. What's your recommendation for best practices on how to network there? So first, I want to thank TherapyNotes for sponsoring us. It's an inclusive, simple, all-encompassing, affordable practice management system that you should absolutely be checking out. It's amazing how different a private practice feels when you have a good practice management system. It gets everything all streamlined for you. They have the lowest HIPAA compliant credit card processing rate out there. There's no transaction fee for that. It's pretty great. You should check it out. It's also top rated on Trustpilot with over 1,000 verified positive reviews. I also love that what was in a previous note can be plopped into your current note, so you're not having to reinvent wheels. It's all good stuff. You can sign up for 2 free months of TherapyNotes if you use the promo code ABUNDANT at checkout at therapynotes.com. Okay, so I definitely have your answer here. I worked at University Counseling Center for 5 years. So I will first say that there are some major differences between university counseling centers. Some have 2 therapists, some have 30. So depending on the size of the campus, the university, there may be different resources, different job descriptions, etc. So if it's a large university, there may be a person on staff whose job is case manager or community liaison or something similar to that. This is a really good point person. A big part of their job is to help connect students with outside referrals. Getting to know how their system works will absolutely benefit you too. So, for instance, during my time at a university counseling center, we had session limits. When I first started that job, we had 12 sessions max. It dropped down to 10 at one point. We could petition for more sessions. And as the eating disorder team leader, I was constantly petitioning for more because eating disorders aren't typically resolved in a couple months. But my team and I were still responsible for taking on the same number of clients each week as our colleagues who might have been seeing shorter term clients. So you can see how this kind of created a bottleneck for us and how those of us who worked in eating disorders and other long-term issues really needed people to refer to so that not only could our clients and potential clients get great care, but also so that we wouldn't feel super burned out at work. For people listening who work with a shorter term issue or a short-term model, don't worry, you can still get really valuable referrals from the counseling center. Over the course of my time there, which ended in 2011, therapy was becoming less stigmatized and clients were showing up in droves. 10 years later, I'm guessing there's even more demand than there was back when I was in university counseling. There were several years where we were on this very long wait list. And that usually happened by September, usually the end of September. Our wait list was maybe 6 months long. We triaged folks. So those who were at less risk coming in were added to the very back of the line. And we all hated it. We knew that they had the potential to become higher risk over that time. We knew that the issue might get resolved, which is great, but then, they never got counseling for it, and they might have a negative view towards counseling since they were waiting. We would much rather refer them to people in the community that we trusted. So getting your foot in the door may mean reaching out to the case manager, asking about the process to get on the referral list. Pretty much every university counseling system I've ever known has a referral list, and there is a whole process. So explore what that looks like. We use that list, like multiple clinicians use that list multiple times a day. So getting on that list can be really highly valuable. It may mean attending a professionals open house. We held these at my old workplace, and I always felt much more confident referring students to people I had chatted with at those. It may also mean grabbing lunch with a staff member who shares your niche. I actually got tons of referrals after doing that when I moved to Seattle. Thank you, University of Washington Counseling Center. It might also mean providing training in your niche if your niche isn't represented among the staff members. That's a way that I got in with our local university when we first moved to Asheville. I talked to them about eating disorders, and I became their go-to eating disorder referral because I demonstrated my expertise. I was happy to hop on the phone and consult with them, those kinds of things. Here's what doesn't usually work. Mailing them cards and a generic letter of introduction. I'm sorry, I know it feels the safest, but it doesn't work. If you get cards and a letter of introduction at your office, do you hop on referring to that person immediately? Do you reach out to try to get to know them? My guess is you don't, and you probably get a lot less mail than a university counseling center does. So if you love working with college-aged clients, I strongly, strongly recommend that you connect with local university or college counseling centers. It is a win-win-win for everybody. The staff there need you, the clients need you, you need clients, it all works out. I know that there are some other university counseling folks in here with different experiences. I would really love for y'all to put any tips in the comments. And this week's free worksheet is 5 ways to get referrals from college counseling centers. I hope that it's helpful for you. If you guys have questions for Ask Allison, please DM me over on Instagram. And if you need support in building your practice, come on over to abundanceparty.com and join us. I'll talk to you later.